Well, it seems like the Republicans are trying to reform the ATF and make it a friendlier organization. Or are they making it worse than ever? Hey everybody, Yankee here. I know a lot of people are talking about how, they're reforming the ATF, they're neutering the ATF. Well, so far there's been no proof of that whatsoever. There's been no incidences of them neutering the ATF. The new zero tax on suppressors and things like that, that does nothing to neuter the NFA or the ATF whatsoever. It just changes the tax to zero. And a lot of people are like, now that the tax is zero, well then the law will have to go away. Well, no, the law is separate. And the government can put a zero monetary tax on things. It's been done many times in the past. It has legal precedent. So that is a big nowhere as far as that lawsuit is concerned. But that's not what really concerns me right now. What concerns me right now is where a lot of people are saying, well, they're really neutering them because they're reducing the number of agents they have. Well, are they really reducing the number of agents? And even if they are, let's look at what they're wanting to do with those agents. And let's look at whether they're actually reducing them. Because as far as are they reducing the number of agents, I don't buy that at all. They're reducing some of the ATF investigators that they say have been doing the job of monitoring businesses, FFL licensees. And to me, that's the only legitimate reason the ATF can exist, is if they were to monitor FFLs. That's the only thing they should be doing, is issuing license and making sure licenses are, compliant, that the owners are compliant with the license, blah, blah, blah. That's the only legitimate thing for the ATF to be doing as far as guns are concerned. As long as the license is required, which, I'm not real sure I agree with at all, because, I don't remember seeing anything like that in the Constitution. But as long as they are having licensing required, well, that's the only thing they should be doing, is maintaining that licensing, making sure people get their FFL, making sure people follow the rules if they have an FFL. That's all they should be doing. But instead, what they want to do, when they said they're going to reduce the number of agents, they said they're going to cut down on the number of agents actually enforcing rules on the FFLs so that they could go after the bad guys. The people that are violating gun laws. And who are those people? Well, those people are us, the citizens. So instead of using their enforcement on the federal level and on the FFL level, they want to start taking it to the streets, to you and me. And one of the things they talked about when they said that is people who modify guns, people who take firearms and modify them to operate in ways they weren't meant to, or ways that make them illegal. And one of the bad things about that is that we all know, in the minds of the government, having the means to do something like that is the same as doing it. So instead of enforcing regulations on FFL holders, they want to go after people that have a rifle that's maybe a little too short. Or maybe they have the means to alter it to make it a fully automatic rifle or a fully automatic handgun. They have those skills and the materials needed to do it. Or maybe they just have a gun with a pistol brace on it, but they also have a stock that'll fit it sitting in their garage. So creative intent, they could make that into a short barrel rifle with no tax stamp, no licensing, no registration. That's what they want to direct the agents at now. They want to make, examples out of people who do stuff like that. And like I said, not only do they want to go after people who break crimes, we know they have a history of going after people who just have the potential to commit a crime. Look at CRS Firearms. Where are they sitting right now because of that, because of thought crime? So that's where the Republicans are putting the emphasis now. And as far as actually reducing the number of agents, they're wanting to roll it into the DEA. So now, instead of just having their ATF agents, they would have 10 times as many as they have now, because they would have that entire jackbooted thug army that the DEA has at their disposal. Those people are sitting around doing very little nowadays, so they're looking for a reason to justify their existence. So they're going to be going on these ATF raids. So one, They aren't really loosening any type of restrictions. Instead of going after FFLs for paperwork mistakes, they've decided they're going to center on the people. They're going to go after the people that break the law. And in their minds, break the law by being able to break the law. And as far as them having less agents, they're going to have more agents than ever. Because if they roll them into the DEA, that's another army at their back. An army that has no qualms about violating people's civil rights. They have the foggiest idea of what due process means. I mean, police have very little idea what due process means. These government agents have even less, especially the ATF side. So the ATF isn't getting reformed. It isn't getting weaker. If anything, it's getting stronger, and it's being pointed at the people instead of at the FFLs. That's not good in my mind. That makes things worse. The only thing, like I said, that the ATF should be doing, if they could justify their existence at all, is issuing FFL licenses and maintaining those licenses. If someone breaks the law with a firearm, well, then that should be the purview of law enforcement. That should be your local police, your state police. That should be even the FBI, possibly. But it shouldn't be a group of bureaucrats whose whole goal is to justify their existence by turning you into criminals. Because if they can't say, oh, look at all these people that are violating gun laws, well, then they can't justify their existence. They can't justify their raids. They can't justify their playing military cosplay every weekend. So, if you ask me, ATF ain't getting weaker. I ain't seen any signs of it. Anybody out there that says the ATF is getting weaker, come in, have a debate about it. Let me know where you're getting that from, because I'd love to hear your point of view. Because from everything I'm seeing, they're not getting weaker, they're getting stronger. They're turning them into more of an army than ever if they get their way. And, like I said, instead of pointing them at FFLs, now they'll be pointing them at you and at me. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.